regarded as one of the wealthiest countries in the world, with the highest number of billionaires per capita in the world. Switzerland is considered the financial heaven of the entire planet Earth. In Switzerland, you have many experiences living there, but they won't be as sweet as the Swiss culture itself. In this video, we'll talk about the pros and cons of living in Switzerland so you can make better informed decisions on whether you want to live in Switzerland or not. So make sure you stick with me from the beginning of this video to the very end so you better understand the quality of life in Switzerland and make informed decisions on whether you are relocating to Switzerland or not. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and also share the video with your friends so they actually get to learn more about Switzerland. With the Alps just outside your doorstep, it is easy to imagine the peaks of life in Switzerland, but every upside has a corresponding downside, and this little alpine nation is no different. Use this guide and this video to explore the highs and lows that you may encounter in Switzerland. First off, let's talk about the pros of living in Switzerland. In Switzerland, there is high quality of life. It's no secret that Switzerland consistently ranks one of the best places in the world to live. As a matter of fact, in 2021, the OECD Better Life Index found that Switzerland is above average for OECD countries in subjective well-being, jobs and earnings, in Commonwealth, health status, social connections, environmental quality, education and skills, including work-life balance, housing and personal security. Most people living in Switzerland are employed at about 80% and they earn a good salary. The Swiss people live an average of 4 years, which is 4 years longer than the OECD average. Above all, they are mostly satisfied with life on a scale from 0 to 10. Citizens greater living in Switzerland are 7.5. Meanwhile, the OECD average is 6.5. If that's not enough to convince you that Switzerland also nabbed the number 4 spot on the 2021 US News Best Countries list. The survey ranked countries according to 76 attributes that are relevant to the success of a modern country. Furthermore, Switzerland earned a perfect score for safety and political stability. It also received top marks for economic stability, education, and healthcare. But wait, if you are not all about the high quality of living, what other things does Switzerland have that other countries do not have? Talking about organized and on time. If being on time and punctuality is your thing, Swiss culture might be your bow or fondue. These world-famous watchmakers are serious about being on time. Punctuality pervades every aspect of life in Switzerland. For instance, being on time is important for your success in Swiss business culture. You can also expect public transportation to be on schedule in Switzerland. Experts credit the precisely planned Swiss train schedules with the fact that travelers make 98% of their train connections. Besides the meticulous scheduling, Switzerland has one of the top rail systems in the world in terms of safety, efficiency and usage. Simply put, you can expect excellent organizations and efficiency to be a big part of your overall experience of living in Switzerland. Pristine nature is another thing. Switzerland is a crown jewel of Europe when it comes to natural beauty. Living in Switzerland is certainly ideal for nature lovers, hikers, and winter sports enthusiasts. Of course, these Alps are always on top of mind for Swiss scenery, and mountains do cover 2/3 of the country. However, the Central Plateau, woodlands and wetlands are also essential features of Swiss topography. Roughly 1/3 of the country is forest and just under a quarter of the lands are protected areas. It's home to around 50,000 different types of plants, fungi, and animals. Furthermore, Switzerland has 6% of the continent's freshwater reserves, making it Europe's water tower. Most importantly, Switzerland has committed to safeguarding its natural environment and fighting climate change. Switzerland has lower greenhouse gas emissions per capita than many OECD countries. It has a robust recycling system and has pledged to be climate neutral by 2050. Another interesting feature of Switzerland is the diverse culture and international community. When you live in a country with four official languages, which include German, French, Italian, and Romansh, you can expect a rich cultural experience. Additionally, with 26 cantons that function almost as autonomous administrative areas, you are sure to encounter a lot of variety for such a small country. Switzerland has also experienced an immigration boom in recent years. In 2019, about 38% of the 8.6 million permanent residents had a migration background. Furthermore, Switzerland is home to many foreign-owned and multinational companies. These companies and the country's top-ranked universities attract many experts to Switzerland to work or study. In short, living in Switzerland is great for connecting with people from other cultures. If you move to one of the larger Swiss cities, you will also find it easy to meet other experts. Now, after learning the pros of living in Switzerland, it is also important to know the cons of living in Switzerland so that you get to make more informed decisions. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click the subscribe button and ensure to drop a like to this video so more people willing to know about Switzerland can get to find this video. So the cons of living in Switzerland include the expenses. The beginning of this video mentioned downsides to living in Switzerland, and probably the most notable is the high cost of living. Switzerland fell to 5th place on the US News Best Countries list when ranked for quality of life because of its dismally low score for affordability, which is 0.4. In fact, the most popular Swiss cities for expats, Zurich and Geneva, are among the most expensive cities to live in the world. Swiss residents have more household debt than the OECD average, and the trend is getting even worse. The OECD Better Life Index also found a considerable gap between the richest and the poorest Swiss residents. The top 20 of the population earns nearly 5 times as much as the bottom 20%. 9% of Swiss Switzerland households have disposable income below 50% of the national median. Furthermore, 15% of the low-income population spends more than 40% of their income on housing. The Swiss are very risk-averse and as such require a lot of insurances. Consequently, they spend more on insurance costs than the European average. Your health insurance bill alone can take a big bite out of your budget. Another bill that might leave a bitter taste in your mouth is groceries. Eurostat data shows that Switzerland has the most expensive food and non-alcoholic beverage among the 37 countries measured. Another thing you need to know about living in Switzerland, which is regarded among the cons, is the rigid and reserved culture. While the organization and pragmatism of Swiss culture are easy for most people to appreciate, it could be harder for experts to get used to the rigidness of life in Switzerland. Swiss people are very polite and also very reserved. For example, in the workplace, you should use last names and the formal Sie, vous, or les until specifically invited by your colleagues or business partners to use their first names. Companies are also typically hierarchical and only the highest people in authority make the final decisions. That said, the French and Italian-speaking cantons can have a somewhat more laid-back business culture. Such restraints also carries over to personal relationships. In a recent survey of experts living in Switzerland, 62% found it hard to make Swiss friends compared to 36% globally. This is because most Swiss people stick to their established circle of close friends. They are also respectful of privacy so they may wait a long time before inviting the colleague to meet outside of work. For an expert who is used to a more outgoing community, this can be a culture shock. One tip for expert life is to be open to making friends from all different backgrounds. Talking about the traditional views of Switzerland, the Swiss culture is notoriously slow to change. Of course, everyone loves the idyllic Swiss villages that make you feel as if you stepped back in time. On the other hand, Discriminatory laws aren't as charming. The fight for equality and women's rights in Switzerland has been a long uphill battle. The good news is that the movement has picked up speed in recent years. Swiss women won 40% of the parliamentary seats in 2019 election. Switzerland also ranked 18th on the Global Gender Gap report in 2020. Despite these advances, unequal pay remains a problem in Switzerland, with women earning currently 19% less than men. However, under the 2020 Swiss Federal Gender Equality Act, companies will have to repay the wage if they found guilty of gender-based pay discrimination. Switzerland has also lagged behind in securing LGBT rights, ranking 23rd on the latest ILGA Europe rating of 49 European countries. In 2021, voters will decide on the issue of legalizing same-sex marriage. If the law comes into force, Switzerland will become the 29th country to allow same-sex marriage. The law will also allow lesbian couples to conceive using sperm donation, and since 2020, it is illegal to discriminate against lesbian, gay, and bisexual people in Switzerland. Additionally, lawmakers voted to enable transgender people to change their legal gender on identity documents by making a declaration as civil registry offices. If you made it far to this video, it shows that you'll be interested in future content from our channel based on these same topics, and consider clicking the red subscribe button and turning on the notification icon so you don't miss any future videos from the channel. In case you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you subscribe and drop a like to this video so more people like you who are looking to live in Switzerland can be able to find this video. Also, let us know your thoughts about living in Switzerland down below in the comment section.